What's up, everybody? Good Sunday morning to you, whoever you are, wherever you are. I want to stop and pause for the calls. First of all, to say thank you to you making the conscious decision to watch and worship together with us today from wherever you may be. Secondly, I want to invite you to do this. I want to invite you to invite somebody else to join our stream today. So take a second, hit that share button, take a second, send it out, take a second, post it on Facebook, share it wherever you share it. But I want to actually make sure you all know the benefits or the realities of what happens through your shares. Your shares help people who may have never, ever, ever, ever even thought to check out the message. They have the chance to hear the message. And as a result of that, they have a chance to experience life change. Your shares equate to life change. It sounds almost too simple to be true, but it's undeniably how it works. Your shares lead to life change. So I want to invite you to invite somebody else to watch and worship together with us today. If you're watching this live, thank you. If you're watching this on the replay, what's up? Whatever the case may be, I'm grateful. I'm glad. I don't take your decision to be on here with us for granted at all. And I just want to say thank you for your presence here today. I want to give you a couple quick announcements, so bear with me through them. And then I'll get you all into this word accordingly. But I want to make sure you govern yourselves accordingly. We are in the month of July. So that means a couple of things. One of them, it means that we're about halfway through the year, really more than halfway now because we're approaching the middle of it. But it doesn't mean you should throw the year away. Said it again. I want to make sure you understood it. We are 7 months into this year. And what happens to many is you get to about the halfway point and you're ready to throw in the towel, you're ready to give up, you're ready to walk away. Things haven't been ideal, things have been challenging. You've ran up against all types of walls and all types of frustrations, and anything and everything has kind of taken place. But listen, I want to be super duper clear about it. Super duper clear about it. That just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't happen ever. And I want to encourage you. I want to invite you to continue to believe God. And here's the truth. Some of you all heard things going into this year, like you were just believing God about certain stuff going into this year, and you haven't experienced it yet. Just because he told you it was going to happen this year doesn't mean that it was going to take a year to happen. Said it again. Just because he said it would happen this year doesn't mean it will take a year to happen. Some stuff you may not have needed a full year to experience. You did require the first half of the year, however, to get your heart ready, to get your mind ready, to get your money right. So it's just all these different factors to get it ready for you and to get you ready for it. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to believe. I want you to be reignited. I want you to be refueled. I want you to believe it's possible to still experience everything he promised. It's still possible for you to still pursue everything he placed on your heart. It's still possible for you to get better. As a matter of fact, type it in the chat, everybody. I can, I will, I must get better. I'm not done growing. I'm not finished growing. I'm not throwing away 2022. If you're watching this live, it's July. If you're watching this back, it's whenever. But I don't want you to throw the year away on the basis. I don't want you to throw the year away on the basis of the fact that it hasn't happened yet. I don't want you to throw the year away on the basis that it hasn't happened yet. Am I making sense? I want you to throw the year away on the basis that it hasn't happened yet. And I don't know why I feel that so strongly. It's not part of my notes at all for what I'm supposed to cover today, but I want you to throw the year away. I can, I will, and I must get better. So as you approach the second half of this year, we're in a negativity fast. I need for you all to trust me as I help you navigate through that. Because I know that that is a new thing for most of you. It's an unfamiliar thing for many of you, and I want you to trust me on it. Can you do that? Can you trust me on it? It's tough. So some of you are giving them negativity. It's harder than giving up sweets and meats and um, everything else. Is some of you all is you'll attest to the fact that giving them negativity is so much harder. Watching what you say to yourself is so much harder. Watching what you think about yourself is so much harder. But I want to invite you to really, really, really throw yourself at this one, as I believe it will make a significant difference in the days to come. All right? Lead you all forward that way. It's the summertime. This is what we committed in the summer. We committed this summer will be the summer of serving. Summer of serving. So we're gonna have some fun stuff coming up too, but we also said this will be a summer of serving. So there's a couple dates I need you to remember. First one is this, and here it is: summer of serving. And if you want to serve with us, you want to volunteer with us, you want to be a physical presence with us as we do our best we can to serve the hell out of people, to love the hell out of people, to love people as best as we can, to serve people as best as we can. You want to help us. Text the word summer to 708-449-8197. You could text summer to 708-449-8197. Summer to 708-449-8197. When you text summer, you're going to get a form. That form is a volunteer form. Let us know. Here are those dates. This upcoming Saturday, if you're watching this live, Saturday, July 23rd is your first chance. We're partnering for the Flag of Hearts Christmas in July event. Christmas in July. It'll be taking place in the village of Bellwood. That's this upcoming Saturday, July the 23rd. I would love for you to volunteer with us that day. We could use your physical presence. As a church family, myself and the church, we made a decision that we would sponsor and we would donate. So we donated the train ride and the pony rides and the petting zoo. And we serving people. We serving people. We serving people. We making sure kids and families have a great time this summer. Your generosity helps us to do that. And that's Saturday, July 23rd. This is coming Saturday, Christmas in July. You can serve there. We would love to see you out helping us be a physical presence, giving out, just kind of empowerment cards and letting people know who empowerment is and what empowerment does. We'll be out there. It's not our event, but we're doing it in partnership and collaboration with sponsoring. So I would love for your presence to physically be out there to represent us and to represent us well, holding it down. We'll have a table. I'd love for you to be out there with us, holding it down at the table. That's Saturday, July 23rd. Saturday, July 30th. Saturday, July 30th. We are partnering again. This time it's for Summerfest at Second Baptist Church in Maywood. Second Baptist Church in Maywood. We'll be partnering for their Summerfest. We'll be out there. We're volunteering. We're gonna be out there working together with them for a lot of things. They got a bounce house. They got all type of stuff for the kids. All type of stuff for the kids. That's Saturday, July 30th. You'll get an email with all this information. I want to give it to you today because sometimes this is the most information y'all are gonna get from me because some of y'all don't stay connected the other way. So this is what it is. So Saturday, July 30th, you'll get that. That is Summerfest at Second Baptist Church in Maywood. We're partnering, we're serving. It's a great chance for you to come out to meet some of the team and to hang out with us on Saturday, July 30th. Sunday, July 31st, I have the privilege of preaching at Broadview Baptist Church in Broadview, Illinois for their 11:30. So we'll still have church online at 9, but I'll physically be in the building at Broadview Baptist Church for their youth day, Sunday, July 31st at 11:30 a.m. I would love to see you all there to come hang out with me to support your pastor as we be a blessing to another church. Sunday, July the 31st. Sunday, July 31st. All you gotta do is come repping empowerment, repping you, repping empowerment. Sunday, July 31st. That's at 11:30. I'm almost about done through. Saturday, August 13th, we have an event of our own coming up that I'll tell you more about. Saturday, August 13th. That's also the home. That's also the first preseason game for the Bears. It's also the first home preseason game. So that day will be a busy day. We got some stuff coming up we want to do that day. So I want to make sure some of y'all like you base your church calendar around football because some of y'all are like football heads, and I didn't even know y'all were football heads till I started working together with the team. So whatever that case may be, some people from the church that are football people reached out and said, "Can we do some stuff?" So we're gonna actually do something on that day. I think it'd be really cool to kind of get some of your football friends together, and it'd be a great day that day. But then Sunday, August 14th, is our back to school pull up service. Pull up on me. Sunday, August 14th, we're pulling up in the parking lot of Proviso West High School. If you've missed our pull ups before, you've missed them. Not a pop up, it's a pull up. You're in your car, you bring a chair, you sit outside your car. We got the big stage gonna be out there, live praise and worship. It's gonna be something special. We'll have more information to come about it. But I want to make sure you're aware of it. Pull-up service, Sunday, August 14th. Listen, it's a family and friends. I need you to invite all your family. I need you to invite all your friends. I need you to invite Lottie Dottie and everybody. I need you to invite Lottie Dottie and everybody. Lottie Dottie, everybody. Sunday, August 14th. It's going to be incredible. Sunday, August 14th. More information come about that, but I'm looking forward to it. All right. And then last one, Saturday, August 20th. Saturday, August 20th. We're partnering and we're serving with the Bellwood School District 88 for their back to school event. I'm telling y'all, summer is serving. We're serving people. We're blessing people. We have committed to be a burden bearer, as the Bible calls us. That's Saturday, August 20th. All right. Lots of stuff. Some of y'all paying attention. Some of y'all wasn't. I know how it go. I send y'all an email with all this information in it. All right. Lord, we thank you for who you are, what you've done, and what you're doing. I pray you would think with my mind, speak with my mouth. That which I'm planning to say, I pray you would give. That which I'm not supposed to say, I pray you would take it away. Use this time to be life altering. Give us ears to hear. Give us hearts to receive. Give us a willingness to do the work. I pray against any distraction, any hindrance that would come in the way of your word going forth. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. Well, listen, everybody. This is week 2 of our series, I Need Answers. Week 2 of our series, I Need Answers. And I told you at the beginning, I would preface every message in this series with a reminder that this is a no-cap community. It's a no-cap community, which means I'm going to just come straight with it. It's a note-taking community, which means I need you paying attention. It's a no more living in regrets community, which means we make a decision to say, listen, what happened, happened, but I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to allow what happened then to keep me from moving forward now. So go ahead, drop in the chat. Let me know that you're on. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm paying attention. I see you all in here. If you're on here live, let me know you're rocking with me on Church Online, on Facebook, on YouTube. I want to know who's rocking with me today. If you're ready for the word, just say yes. Job chapter number 2 is where I want to anchor a part of our time together today. Not all of our time, but a part of our time. Job chapter number 2. Here's how my Bible reads it. On another day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them to present himself before him. And the Lord said to Satan, where have you come from? Satan answered the Lord, from roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? There's no one like him in all the earth. He's blameless and upright. He's a man who fears God, shuns evil, and still maintains his integrity. Notice that he said, and he still maintains his integrity. Though you incited me against him to ruin him without any reason. If you were paying attention last week, you remember I started you off with this story, and God recommended Job to Satan last week in Job chapter 1. He sends these attacks on his house. He sends these attacks on his family. And then it says on another day, the Lord said to Satan, where you been, bro? Satan say, walking to and fro. The Lord said, did you consider my servant Job? He recommends him again. He offers him up again. And he says to him, no, he says, listen, he said, man, what happened? He maintains his integrity. Even though you provoked me to give him to you because you were trying to prove something to me and it didn't work. Verse number 4, skin for skin, Satan replied. He said, a man will give all he has for his own life. But now stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face. Satan said, look, what you gave me wasn't enough. The Lord said to Satan, very well, then he's in your hands, but you must spare his life. So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and afflicted Job with painful sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. Then Job took a piece of broken pottery, scraped himself with it as he sat among the ashes. His wife said to him, are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die. He replied, you're talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept the good from God and not trouble? In all this, Job did not sin in what he said. I want you to see what's happening here, and then I'll jump into it. Reggie, I see you in the chat. Vicky, I see you in the chat. Chelsea, all the way from Canada in the chat. I want you to see what's happening here. Another day has come. Job has encountered what everybody probably would have thought was the worst of the worst. He's still minding his own business. God has another conversation with Satan. He said, you tried him and it didn't work. Satan shows his hand a little more. Because Satan is like, oh, no. You need to give me a little more access to him. Which is indicative of something. I want y'all to see this. Because when Satan says skin for skin, I need more access, what Satan is really demonstrating is he doesn't have the power that we give him the power over. So we think Satan is all powerful. We think Satan is after our stuff. Well, Job lost all his stuff and he still kept coming for it because he was never after the stuff. And this is the danger in building your life around stuff. This ain't my message, but I need you to see this. The danger of building your life around stuff is when you invest all of your life into stuff and the enemy comes for that stuff, you'll feel like you lost everything. But Job's life was built on something stronger than stuff. That way, when the stuff left, he wasn't shook. And there's some of you, maybe a few of you that may be watching this right now. Maybe you're watching this on the replay. Maybe you're getting this message back later, who you are able to testify about the reality of the fact that life has sent you some challenges. Life has sent you some hardship. Life has sent you some confusion. But the only reason why you're still any type of sane in the membrane is because the stuff that the enemy tried to take from you didn't mean what he thought it meant to you, because you discovered you can take everything I worked to get away from me, but what you can't take is my joy. And if some of you are wrestling through that thought right now, I want to encourage you to go back to a series I just taught to help you understand that the enemy can't take your joy, but you can give him your joy. All right. So we're here. Satan says skin for skin. Lord said, you know what? And this bothers me, y'all, because God is like, you know what? Go for it. Have at it. Very well. But you must spare his life. Now, here's what's troubling to me about this, and I would imagine it's troubling to some of you all about this, is don't nobody talk to us about God like that. That the average person does not approach us and talk to us about the fact that life will undeniably, unmistakably be filled with trials, challenges, and struggles. Like, I don't know about you, but at least that was my reality, that I didn't realize how much life can hurt until life started really hurting. And I had read the Bible. And when life starts to hurt bad enough, you start searching for answers. And you start searching for answers everywhere. You start asking questions like, why me? Why now? Why is this happening to me? Why did this happen all around me? Why do I feel this way? Why does good stuff happen? Why does bad stuff happen to good people? Why does it seem like evil people are always winning and prospering? Why does it seem like people who don't love God are doing better than the people who say they love God? Why does it seem like the people who I'm supposed to follow seem like they can't keep it together? Why does it seem like, and it's all of these questions when life hurts. Why didn't daddy love me enough? Why didn't mama love me enough? Why did this happen this way? Why did this happen this way? And all of us end up searching for questions to answers. And the question that I want to raise for our consideration that most of us ask either out loud or we've asked silently and subtly is this: how am I supposed to keep going? Have you ever wondered, how am I supposed to keep going? How is it you expect me to keep going when the pain hasn't stopped? I prayed and I still got pain. I gave and I still got pain. I went to church and I still got pain. I've been a good person, but I still got pain. I kept attempting to do better and I kept attempting to do right, but I still got pain. How am I supposed to keep going? How am I supposed to make it? And some of y'all can't be honest enough to talk about it like this way. How am I supposed to keep going when everybody is looking at me to be the strong friend? Come on, let's be honest. It's a no cap community. It's an honest community. If you came for anything, if you came for false pretense, you are watching the wrong person's live stream. You're watching the wrong person's replay. Have you ever wondered, how am I supposed to keep going? I thought I was doing it right. Now I know I'm not perfect. I know I make mistakes. I know I don't always do it right. But Jesus, I thought grace, I thought your grace was sufficient. I thought that I would be able to do it. And here it is. How am I supposed to keep going? Gone on these searches for answers. His wife is with him. His wife asks this question: are you still maintaining your integrity? Mrs. Job, because we don't know her name, but Mrs. Job is like, bro, you still talking about you trust God? Mrs. Job is like, listen, you done lost everything you worked hard for. You done lost everything that you said that the Lord gave you. We done lost our babies. We done lost our finances. And now look at you, looking a mess. Let's talk. Let's not sanitize the story, right? Job, it says that Job gets these boils on his skin, and it starts describing just kind of how much he starts being in these painful sores, is how it reads in the New English version, but New International Version. But King James verse talking about their boils all over his body, and he takes a piece of stone to try and cut it, because to cut it open to find some relief. He's trying to do anything that he can to find a relief from the pain. He's perplexed by his problems. He is in a predicament that he didn't volunteer himself for. He did not do anything to enter into. He's there because God volunteered him up. God offered him up to go through it. I don't know if anybody here is going to be as honest as Joy is in the chat and can be honest, maybe from your home. Maybe you're not going to type in the chat, but can you at least relate and say you talking to me? You ain't got to type in the chat. Just say it out loud. Let me know in the spirit, at least, that I'm not out here by myself today. Have you ever felt like, I need answers? And now some of us are on a search for answers because we're just confused by life's challenges. We're confused by what's happening in the world. We're confused because every time we turn around, it seems to be something new that's breaking out, something new that's happening. We had COVID-19, we had monkeypox, we got chicken pox, we got you name it, pox. You just it's out here. You look up every time we turn around, we got something else that's happening, something else that's popping off. We got wars that are happening that don't make sense, gas prices that are rising and perplexing people who ain't got money, people who got a little bit of money. I don't care who you are. Gas prices is bothering us all. I mean, it's you look over it just like it just doesn't make sense. You try not to seem ungrateful for complaining about it because you got a little bit to make sure you keep your pump going. But you look up and be like, Jesus, is there anything else that could happen to me? And you end up looking in this story because while some of you may not be able to identify with having to hear the attacks coming the way Job does, you have had to encounter attacks. Everything in your life you thought you knew got flipped upside down. Job is here. He was afflicted with painful sores. His wife said, "You still holding on?" No, his wife, the most closest person to him, his wife, the person who whispers sweet nothings to him at night, the person who is the safe space in his life and in his heart. And some of you all don't have wives, and some of you all may not have husbands, but all of you all have somebody who has your ear. And what do you do when the people who have your ear are now telling you to turn your back on God? Told I came straight talk, no chaser. What do you do when the people who have your ear, the people who you have given significant weight to, don't have the faith to help keep pushing you forward, but instead they're like, you know what? I don't even know why you go to church so much in the first place. I can't tell you how many times I dealt with this when church is in person for us. Or just when I was pastoring at serving as an associate minister at another church, when I would run into these encounters of people who would end up saying stuff like, "Why you keep going to church if that's happening? You might as well just be out." They would say, "Would start comparing themselves." And people who didn't go to church would talk to people who did go to church and be like, "Look, I ain't got that going on. I don't go. Why don't you just stop going with me?" This is why this fast is so key and critical. Because when you're going through life, whether it is the worst of the worst or it's just bad days and bad stretches, you need the right people in your ear. And I'm telling you, the enemy is so strategic that he will undeniably use the people closest to you if you're not careful. Did you hear what I just said? He will use the people the closest to you because he is so strategic. He will use the people who you thought would be the people who would not lead you astray. And I want you to look at, I want you to look at the fact because this woman, his wife, says, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." Another translation says, she will say, surely you should curse God and die." It's the exact words that the enemy used when Satan was talking to God. He like, if you do this, surely he will give up his integrity and curse you and die. So you're not gonna tell me that the enemy wasn't talking to her because it's clear the enemy was talking to her, and the enemy will talk to the people who are closest to you to try. If the enemy can't get to you through your own head, he will attempt to get to you through the head of the people closest to you. So you need to make sure who's around you. Am I here? Am I here? Am I here? And can y'all hear? Y'all still with me? It's tight, but I promise you it's right. Is anybody still here with me? Did y'all click off? Let me know in the chat if you're still with me here today. Is anybody still here? Is y'all lied out there? Y'all lied? All right, I'm at least getting some reactions to let me know that you're here. So his wife said, "You still maintaining your integrity, curse God and die." Look at what he says though. He says, "You're talking like a foolish woman." Now, again, granted, you all have heard me talk about this passage before a little bit if you've been around a little bit. I don't demonize necessarily Mrs. Job, because what Mrs. Job is experiencing is caregiver fatigue. She's watching the person that she loves and the people that she loves go through. The natural inclination, the facts of life lead me to say this is tough. The problem wasn't that she thought it, the problem was that she said it. Are y'all here? Hey, y'all here? I want to jump out of this chair. The problem wasn't that she thought it. The problem was that she said it. The problem was that she said it. Because every thought that comes to my mind, I don't have to give attention to. You mean to tell me you don't think that Job thought this was unfair? You don't mean to tell me Job thought, I don't know why I'm going through this right now? You mean to tell me that Job didn't have these thoughts? See, you don't control what comes to your head, but you do control what stays there. I haven't even got to my notes yet. I don't know how far we're gonna get through this thing today, but I hope this is helping somebody. Job, Mrs. Job is there. He says, "You talking like a foolish woman." You know what he's really saying? You talking like you don't know better. You talking like you haven't experienced the faithfulness of God. And I imagine he was able to have this conversation with her because I imagine it's the conversation that he had with himself. I know too much about him. I've seen him move. You move the mountains. And now I believe I'll see you do it again. He is the same God. He's able to keep his testimony the same way because he's had self-talk with himself. You're not going to tell me that Job hadn't been talking to himself and doing like David does in the book of Psalm and saying stuff like, I command my soul to bless the Lord. Because where your energy goes, your life flows. Does that make sense? I got a lesson that's coming out for you all who are part of the fast and receive our text messages this week. And the lesson talks about how negativity affects you negatively 100% of the time. That negativity affects you negatively 100% of the time. He said, you speaking like a foolish woman. You speaking like somebody that doesn't know better. And what he does is he reminds her, should we accept the good from God and not the bad? He's saying, listen, we can't bless God when it's good and curse God when it's bad. Either God was good or God wasn't good. But his goodness is not contingent upon what I'm experiencing. My experiences don't change his character. I didn't serve him for stuff. The stuff was a byproduct of whatever he chose to give me, but I didn't deserve it in the first place. He says, shall we accept the good from God, not the trouble? And all this, Job did not sin in what he said. In all this, Job did not sin in what he said. What's up, Akeem? Well, in all this, Job did not sin in what he said. I'm telling you, you got to guard your eye gates, what you're seeing and exposing yourself to, your ear gates, who and what it is that you're listening to. But you got to guard your mouth because your mouth will get you in trouble. I told to tell you all the time, I was born new school, raised old school. Your mouth will write a check. Anybody remember that expression? Your mouth will write a check that your tail can't cash. And when you start speaking some stuff out, you start writing checks to the enemy. You start giving the enemy credit for what God is orchestrating behind the scenes. I'm gonna just flow today. Is that all right? We'll get through whatever I get through, and I'm done when I'm finished. Is that all right? Can y'all give me permission to just be free today? I'm done. I get through what I get through, and I'm done when I finish. We just gonna flow and have a conversation. Regina, we straight with that. Londa, we straight with that. We just go work it out. I need answers. Now hear this. Here's the difference between Mrs. Job and God. Mrs. Job is contending that I need answers for why this is going on. So because I don't have the answers, I think we might as well just curse God and die. All right, y'all done freed me up. I'm about to tell y'all I just saw something I ain't never seen before. I just when I read this, I'm trying to get past the text so I can get to my notes, but the text is before my notes in my iPad. And the more I look at this text, the more I see something. Why does woman tell him to curse God and die? She didn't say let's curse God and die. This woman did not say we should curse God and die. This woman, this woman says you should curse God and die. And here it is. I'm not making this gender specific. That's just how the text is. I don't believe it's there that way intentionally or deliberately. I think it's to paint a picture of the people who are the closest to you. So if that's the case, the people who are the closest to you, some of them are telling you to give up and to throw in the towel for you, but they not gonna do what they told you to do. Oh, you want me to give up, but what you finna do? You might have cursed God, but you still standing here talking to me, so you didn't die. Are you here today? Because when the enemy realizes that you learned how to talk to yourself, he starts sending other people to talk to you in a way that you wouldn't talk to yourself. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or if what I'm talking about is striking a chord, I want to invite you to go back and watch a series I did this year called Fatal Attractions. Because just because it's beautiful don't mean it's for you. Just because it looks good to you don't mean it's good for you. That applies to people, places, and things. And sometimes there are things and people that you have allowed to have your ear, you've allowed to have your eye, and to have your focus and your attention. But some of the things that are talking to you, and you think they may be talking to you from God, are really the enemy who's just waiting on the right moment to sneak up and to sneak in. I'm out here today. This is so far away from where I wanted to take this message. She's there. She makes this claim. But in all this, Job didn't sin in what he said. The title of the sermon, right? How am I supposed to keep going? I'm not going to try to get through. I'm not going to try to get through all of what I wanted to teach today. I'll teach what I want to teach today another day. Here's what I want to tell you about this, where I am right now. Y'all still with me? We still here? How am I supposed to keep going? I can keep going because of what I know. I can keep going because of what I know. I can keep going because of what I know. Type that in the chat. I can keep going because of what I know. Write that in your notes. I can keep going because of what I know. I can keep going because of what I know. I can keep going because of what I know. Some of you feel like I can't keep going because of what I know. No, 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 no. You can keep going because of what you know. You can keep going because of what you know. Because while you may not know everything, you know enough. You part of this spiritual family here, you know enough. You may not know everything, but it is not my commitment to raise biblical scholars. That is not my assignment. It is not my commitment. It is not my commitment nor my conviction. You got to know all 66 books of these Bible. I don't feel like it's going to get you into heaven, and I don't feel like it's going to help you fight everything you need to know down here on earth. But you know enough. You know enough. And see, the problem is the enemy keep telling you don't know enough. The enemy trying to make you think you don't. Oh, now hear this. I'm not saying you shouldn't know more. I'm saying don't discount what you do know. See the difference there? I'm not saying you should know more. But there's some of you all who are allowing doubt to sneak in because you think you don't know enough. Here's the foundational piece of what most of us do know, and we think it's not enough. What do we know? We know that God is love. We know that God is our creator. Most of you all do know the scripture that talks about in the beginning God looked out into nothing, and as he was there in the beginning nothing was, and everything that wasn't became. Right? We understand that truth. So if you know that, if you know that God was able to look out into the cosmos of nothing, speak into the cosmos of nothing, and everything that was not became, you know enough. Does that make sense? Like if you know that he spoke in the nothing and nothing that was became, yeah, you know enough. You know that somehow, some way, this is what I'm saying. You know somehow, some way you went to sleep last night and woke up this morning. Do you know that sleep is still a medical anomaly in terms of how your body functions at night? The organs don't stop. The organs start back up. It is still undeniably a medical anomaly. Scientists have been trying to prove it. Doctors have been trying to physically work it out, and they've come up with some rationales around it, but they ain't figured out how it worked. How somehow, some way, we were engineered in a way. Are you here? Because some of you feel like you don't know enough. I'm gonna tell you, you may not know everything you can know, but you know enough to get through. You know he's made just I'm gonna just call it like I see it. You know he's brought you through other things. You know you've seen him supernaturally intervene on behalf of the affairs of other people. You know he brought you through COVID-19. You know he brought you through a global pandemic. I'm trying to hold myself together because some of y'all know I was born new school, raised old school. I'm a teacher, but I got preacher in me, and every now and again it sneaks up on me. And so I'm trying not to holler out on the studio and just talk about how good he's been. But some of you all know if I was in a different form, and maybe you catch me on July 31st, I'll be a little bit freer and start a fire in that sanctuary that day, talking about the goodness of Jesus. Because there's something that all of us should know. All of us have to know. Some of us have to call to our memory. Here it is. I'm reminded of the passage in Lamentations chapter 3 when Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, is lamenting. He's going down the list of things that isn't working. He's going down the list of things that he doesn't understand. He's going down the list of things he forgot about. And then all of a sudden, he has a flashback. He says, all of a sudden, I remembered this, and therefore I had hope. If it was not for the Lord mercies, I would have been consumed. But morning by morning, he continues to provide new mercy. Great is thy faithfulness. He says, I know enough. I don't know why this is happening, but I know enough. I know great is thy faithfulness. Can I share something with you? I was having a coaching conversation. Having a coaching conversation this week with somebody. And I was talking about how easy it is to complicate things. That most of us don't realize how easy it is for some of us to complicate things. Like for some of us, it's easier to make things more complicated than it is to solve the problem in the first place. Like most of us, complicating things come easy. So some of us complicating things is like it's a gift. You just be like, how did you make this so difficult? How did you make this so complex? How did how did we get from point Z all the way already? We just how did this 1 plus 1 problem become trigonometry? The same way you complicate stuff in life, I'm going to contend some of us complicate our faith. Rev, what do you mean when you say we complicate our faith? The Bible talks about when Jesus is talking about faith, he talks about having childlike faith, the faith of a child. The faith of a child does not understand everything. The faith of a child doesn't understand most things. But the faith of a child is based upon the confidence in God, right? The faith of a child is based on the confidence of the one they're expecting to perform and to provide. The faith of a child is not based upon understanding any of it. The faith of a child is really a mystery. And our faith is a mystery. How some things work, why some things happen, it's a mystery. But don't let what you don't know choke out what you do know. Don't let what you don't know choke out what you do know. I could go deeper, but I just feel like I think I'm gonna land the plane right here, y'all. I think I'm gonna just land the plane right here because there's so many times in life we want answers for why, how, when, what. It's just all of the above. And what if I told you that that was pride? What if I told you your need for answers was based upon our human pride and need to know things that God never promised us? Because sometimes what we don't know can prevent us from living our life the way He intended, right? How many things and how much time has been wasted because of the fear of the unknown? How many times have we not walked away from certain stuff that we knew wasn't good for us because of fear of the unknown? How many people have we not allowed God to take out of our lives because we were afraid of because we were afraid of what would happen next? We didn't know who He was going to send next. I'm going to push this a little bit further, and it may make some of you all uncomfortable, but it's the nature of the work I do. How many times have we not been willing to let our loved one leave us And not because we didn't know that their transition will provide another type of healing for them, but we didn't want to let them leave us because we were afraid of how we would feel without them. How many times we've been afraid to some of us are afraid to just like eliminate some stuff in our lives because we've made such a dependency upon the stuff that we feel like we can control. That's pride. What happens here in this text, because some of you are like, where is it at in the text? What happens here in this text is Job says, listen, all this stuff I thought that mattered to me, or you thought that mattered to me, don't actually matter to me. I know who gave it to me. And what I do know is not gonna choke out what I don't know. And what here it is, and what I know about God, this is the moment for all of us. Hear me. What I know about God and what we know about God, like what we know about God should alter what we believe about ourselves. Gosh, I was just having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I was telling them about some things that honestly are still in my heart and that get in the way of my progress and get in the way of me sometimes. And the only reason, because some of y'all won't testify, so I will. The only reason I've been able to see some of the miraculous things that God has done through whatever aspect of my life are not because of what I don't know, but it's because I trusted God every step on what I did. I don't know why God would use me to do what He uses me for. I don't know why God would pick somebody up, little nappy headed boy from Maywood, and decide to do whatever He's done and whatever He's gonna do with use somebody who's experienced different variations of pain to encourage people. Use take times where I had actually lost my job to tell you all about the spiritual realities and benefits of generosity. Talk about how God was going to provide for your house, and I had no clue how He was going to keep providing for mine. Didn't let what I didn't know choke out what I do know. How you supposed to keep going because of what you know? Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. It is the evidence of things not seen. How you supposed to keep going? Because of what you know. What you know about God should this week. I'm gonna work with you on it for those who are keeping up with our fast. And what I may do is I might send this video out to everybody because I think it's gonna help some people. What you discover is kind of the nuances of what you learn about God and know about God should begin to alter and form how you see yourself. And some of you all have allowed the way other people see you and the way other people treated you and the lack of vision other people had around you to alter because you didn't guard your ear gates and your eye gates. Now you're not guarding your mouth gate. But sometimes at this stage in your life, the issue ain't who still has your ear. It's who had your ear years ago in your formidable years. And their voice still rings so loudly. And you don't even realize they still talking to you. Mrs. Joe was closest person to him. He cut it off quick. Some of you all, you hear those voices, or those voices are talking to you from people who have long gone. Some people ain't even still alive. They voices is talking. How am I supposed to keep going? When I can't manage the season, I got to learn how to manage me. Some of y'all think you got more control than what you do. So when you can't manage the season, you got to manage you. Man, I don't control the season. Oh my gosh. This nugget right here was worth the whole time today. You don't control the season? You do you control the weather today? Do you those especially those of y'all who are here in Chicago with me, do you control this weather today? No, you do not control the season. You do control you. If it's raining, I can either get rained on or I can manage me enough to have an umbrella. It's hot. I can say I can it's a 90-degree day. Let's say it's a 90-degree day. We'll make this as practical as I can. It's a 90-degree day. Let's say it's 90 degrees. It's not 90 degrees here today. At least not according to the weatherman at the moment. We all make a change. So let's say it's a 90-degree day. I could put on a sweater, some sweatpants, and some Tims and walk outside and say, man, this weather gonna change because I'm out here. Or realize I'm gonna just be hot. Then go back in the house and manage me better. I could walk out with my sweater, my sweatpants, and my Tim's on all day, talking about how burning up I am. Because you thought you were gonna manage the season when you should have did a better job managing me. So you complaining about stuff that you can't change instead of changing the parts you can. Job said, should we accept the good from God, not the bad? Did this help anybody today? I'm I've been telling you all the past 2 weeks that the state of your faith is determined by your gates. The state of your faith is determined by your gates. What are you listening to? What are you seeing? What are you saying? Can I tell you what I told one somebody else coaching this week? Can I tell you what I told them? I normally wouldn't say something like this in church, but I think it'll help some of you because some of you all you need somebody to talk to you like this. Some of you all need you all to talk to somebody like this. That's like this how God talked to me. I'm gonna talk to y'all how God talked to me today. Yes. Okay. Can somebody just say yes? Can I talk to y'all how God talked to me? Somebody just say yes. Somebody say it. Somebody say it. That's all I needed was that one. This week, I want to make sure none of you are like Mrs. Job this week. I want to make sure you don't say foolish things. This is how God speaks to me though. God be like, stop saying stupid stuff. And this is you want to guard like because some of y'all are like I know y'all. Some of y'all like how do I guard my mouth, Pastor? How do I guard my mouth this week? Stop saying stupid stuff. Somebody got to write stop. Somebody got to write that down. Stop saying stupid stuff. Now, for those of you all who need somebody to speak to you a little bit more gently and kinder, I'll say remove negative words. So some of y'all need to be loved a little differently. So for some of you all who need to be loved a little differently, I'm gonna say stop. I'm gonna say you need to remove some negative words. Remove some negative words. But for those of you who can handle it, I'm gonna say just stop saying stupid stuff. Because negativity affects you negatively 100% of the time. Can y'all get 2 more minutes? Give me 2 more minutes. That's all I'm asking for. 2 more minutes. Because I feel like some of y'all are like some of y'all ain't gonna come back next week. Some of y'all are like this was too much. I need a minute. I need a minute. Some of you like this is too much. I need a minute. Because some of you are like, Rev, this is so good, but I'm so hurt. I got so much pain. I got so much stuff in my heart that I'm trying to figure out how I move from. And I want to stop saying negative stuff, but it's when I think about my life, it's filled with so much negativity and it's filled with so much of this. I need for you to decide. I'm talking right to you, whoever you are. I need for you to decide to feel the frustration of what you didn't understand, why it happened to you. Because there's some of you right now, I feel so strongly. You're wrestling with the pain and stuff you didn't cause, pain and stuff you didn't ask for, the shame of what somebody else did to you, the pain from what other people took from you. See, some people can't relate to that because some people inflict their own pain, but there's some of you all that you're dealing with the pain, the pain and stuff you were young. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you're trying to figure out how do I keep going? Some of you all are dealing with the pain of what you know you caused somebody else to have to deal with. And you're like, how do I keep going knowing I caused this? I need you to feel the frustration, but I need you to be willing to release the regret. Are you here? I need you to feel the frustration, but I need you to be willing to release the regret. How am I supposed to keep going? You can't change some of the thoughts and the feelings that are going to come into your head. You can release the regret of what you can't undo. You can release the regret of what you can't undo. Because some of you like, if I could go back and change it, you would. Well, you can't. And you're spending so much time on what you can't do that you're missing what you can do. You can't undo what you did. You can't undo what they did. You can't undo what happened. And if spending more time dwelling on it would do anything for you, I'd let you do it. But it's not making you better. It's not making it better. Instead, it's making you worse. Regret doesn't make it better. Regret makes you worse. Regret doesn't make it better. Regret makes you worse. Some of y'all ain't gonna like it, but sometimes God wraps purpose in the wrapping paper of pain. Sometimes He wraps purpose in a thing called pain to use that pain to develop you for where He's taking you, to develop you for what He's gonna use you to do. To make sure to show the world what it looks like to have faith. You don't need faith when things are good. You need faith for the unknown and the undesirable. You need faith in all things. Faith's not just for good moments. I need faith that can withstand all moments. Regret ain't making you better. Regret ain't making it better. It's making you worse. You can't undo what you did. You can't undo what they did. You can't undo the mistakes you made. You can't go back and change what you didn't know. You can either realize that if I would have known it then, I'd have did it then, or you can say I do know it now, so this is what I'm gonna do. Can't manage the season. You can manage you. Job said, I can't change what's happening to me, but I can change my confession. And all this he did not sin with his mouth. I'm really trying to move on, but somebody's like really pulling on me. And I get this is oh my goodness, and I'm past my time. How are you supposed to keep going? Because of what you do know. What do I know, Rev? I know I was born on purpose, with purpose, and for a purpose. So I refuse to let what I've gone through stop me from going forward. That needs to be somebody's confession right there. I think that's what the release was for. I know I was born on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose. And if I'm still here, he's working it together for my purpose. The pain, the problems. Some of you, some of y'all want to know why, and God's like, the why you went through it doesn't matter. Let me rephrase that. The why it happened that way. Because like you want answers as if he gives you the answers, you're going to agree. He's like the real thing you need to be asking is what do I want you to do with what do I want you to do with it? What do I want you to do with the pain? I want to use your pain. I want to redeem your pain. I want to use your pain for your purpose. But you got to release the regret. God got you. 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 I used to teach this way. God, you got this and you got me. God got this and God got me. God got this and God got me. God got this and God got me. So, Father, I pray. I pray. I pray for a release. I pray for a release to fall on your people. A release from the pain of our past, a release from the problems in our present, but a decision to trust you for what's possible in our future. Pray for a release of what we don't know. And I pray that we would hold on to what we do know. I pray for the power to have some elimination. I pray for the strength for some limitation. But I pray that we all do some evaluation so that we can step into the people you called and created us to be. Pray for those who are crying right now that you will let them know that those who sow in tears, they'll reap in joy. Pray for those who this touched in a different kind of way, that they will know that this was the answer that they needed, that this was your response to their prayers, that this was a reminder to them of your faithfulness. I thank you and I praise you. Pray for decisions that will be made. Have your way in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, listen, if you're here quickly, I want to do this. If you're here and you're on, stay on. Give me a couple minutes. Let me get you out of here. I just need to make these calls to make sure you know what's happening. If you're here, you need to give today. Maybe you haven't given yet. I want to invite you to give. I want you to give back to the God that's graciously given to us. We got a lot of things coming up. Your generosity undeniably helps us do the work that we do. We got back to school stuff coming up. We're blessing, I think, 4 organizations so far, and one of those organizations is an entire school district. Your generosity helps us to do that. You can text the word empowerment to 77977. You can give by Cash App, $ empowerment church, but your generosity helps us do it. We can't do what we do without you. Your giving gives through empowerment. You give through this channel. You God blesses his people bless his house. Period. There's not a magical bag at the end of the tunnel. God bless his people bless his house blesses the world. We have been able to bless the world. We bless people locally and globally. And right now it's back to school season. People got needs, not just school supplies either. Y'all know we go way deeper than that around here. Way deeper than that around here. Your gifts help us to do it. Your gifts help us to serve people with excellence. That pull-up service, it ain't nothing light about it. But we serve people with excellence because we believe excellence honors God and inspires people. I don't believe the world should be able to do it one way and the church got to settle to do it another kind of way. It's just one kind of way. Excellent. That's my commitment. Excellence. Whatsoever you do, work as heartily as unto the Lord. Your generosity helps us to do it. Be a blessing to people, helps us to make sure we take care of what we got to take care of. We got school supplies we got to get for some families. We have so many things that your generosity is fueling during this season. I want to say thank you for it. Those of y'all been rocking with me for 6.5 years, you already know what we do around this time of the year. Those of y'all who are new, I'm asking you to trust when I say we kill the game as a spiritual family. I believe in irrational generosity. We kill the game. Your gifts help us to happen. Help us make it happen. You can text to give. You can mail it into the PO box. So many ways you could give. The sponsor letter will be on the church website this week. If maybe some of your companies want to sponsor or work together with some of our efforts, but we need you to help us make it happen. God bless His people. His people bless His house. His house blesses the world. That's how it works. I'm grateful to serve a generous house. I'm grateful to serve a generous people. I really am. I'm saying thank you in advance. Listen, maybe you need to give. Maybe you need to make a decision today. Text decided. Decided to 708-449-8197. Text decided to 708-449-8197. Text decided to 708-449-8197. If you're deciding to give your life to the Lord for the first time, give your life back to the Lord, join the spiritual family. Text decided. Give your life to the Lord. Give your life back to the Lord. Join this church family. Text decided. Go to Empowerment Anywhere, click that connect button. Text decided. Decided. You're making a decision today. Text decided. 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 We're doing baptisms, y'all. My plan is to do baptisms outside on the 14th. You know, you baptized. I'm excited about that. Baptisms on the 14th. So many great things happening. So many great things coming. Text decided. Text decided. Text decided. Well, listen, everybody, I want to say thank you all so much for your decision to be on with us today. I pray for you all already. For those who are part of our church family, you'll be getting some information. Those who are connected to the church family, not those who are a part of it. Those who are connected, you get our emails, you get our text messages. You'll be getting information about the fast this week. You'll be getting information about the stuff we're working on this week. Or if you connect to our social media platforms, you'll see it all. All right, I miss you all. I love you all. Have an incredible day. And I'll talk with you all real soon. Let's go.